today David is going to show me how to make a bat box, and here's one that you made earlier.
The prototype, yes.
This is our prototype, so we're going to be making a bat box that looks like this.
Right.
So David, where do we start?
First we start to collect our materials. I'm using hardwood today. You don't have to use hardwood, but if you don't use hardwood, you have to be a bit more careful about what other wood you use. If you use pine, that's fine, but it still has to be painted or treated in some way to make it weatherproof. You can't use manufactured wood, shall we say, like chipboard or treated pine. Never do it, because that's got all sorts of chemicals in, which will affect the bats more than likely. Anyway, I'm using hardwood today. I've got red gum. These are the 3 pieces that I'm going to cut out today to make a box similar to this. Apart from that, we need screws and construction adhesive, which we don't use a silicone glue because silicone's got chemicals in which can be dangerous for bats. The construction adhesive is to make sure that it all stays together, and also to provide a bit of seal around the edge. We don't want the poor bats to get cold. Right.
And would you be able to use PVA glue?
No, don't use PVA glue. There are exterior PVA glues, but they're not as effective as construction adhesive, which is designed for this sort of use anyway.
Okay.
Right.
And I've noticed you've got some screws there, David. Is there a particular type of screw that we need to use?
I would call these landscaping screws. They're for external use. If you use ordinary steel screws, they're going to rust quickly. I'm going to start cutting now. Here's the back. Cut all the other pieces in a similar manner on the saw. Some pieces have a bevel on them. By that I mean we've got an angle, and the front also has a bit of an angle on it. So that, as you can see, they will match, and that's what that holds the lid, what puts the lid on. Now we've cut out all the pieces we need. On the inside of the bat box we cut grooves so that the bats can land down here and climb up inside the box with their claws, and the grooves are only about 2 millimeters deep, about 5 millimeters apart. All right, you can see they're all cut now. Now I've drilled all the holes. When you're using hardwood, drill holes, pilot holes all the way through, because the wood will generally be harder than the screws, and if you try to put a screw in, you'll break the screw, and then you're in trouble. Right, we're putting the construction adhesive in each joint. It helps to seal it and to weatherproof it. Go around the hole. Right. Right, sides are on. Next thing is put the front on. The bats land on here and climb up there, but we only leave a tiny little gap.
Can you show the one
You
earlier?
can see it's only about a 12 millimeter gap at the bottom. And this is going to go in here, hopefully. Put some screws in. Right, you can see it's only a little tiny gap at the bottom for the bats to get in. It should be about 12 millimeter. Spot on. Okay. Right, all that's left really is to put the lid on.
The inspection lid.
The inspection lid. And the only thing left to do is to put the hinge on. Now, to waterproof or hopefully waterproof the hinge, I've just used an inner tube, bit of old inner tube from a bicycle. Punch the holes through, put the lid on there, sorry, the hinge on, and hopefully it will keep it weatherproof. We could put a bit of adhesive underneath this as well around the edge just to keep it in place, which we'll do. There we go, one back box.
Super.
With lid.
Thank you, David. So it came together quite easily, and it is super if you've got all the tools. But obviously if you don't have the tools, you could always contact your local men's shed and see if they could help you out, or contact the guys at Naracoorte men's shed who'd be happy to help you.